Good evening, everyone. All right. We got audio going on here. Hello? Okay. Awesome. Got some questions coming in already. Shrish, glad you're looking forward to this.
Yeah, we took off last week because we headed out of town. We went to go visit my family. We've all been kind of quarantined. So we spent the week with them. That was really nice.
Yeah. Phil asked, Brian, all the times that you've done Nibnook, has there been a pen that maybe was not even on your radar, but became an, ooh, I have to own this just by doing Nibnook samples?
Like, ooh, this is a fun nib.
It's a good question. Not that the Nibnook necessarily. I usually have a pretty good idea of what's going on with the Nibnook. Well, actually, that's...
Sometimes you're surprised.
I am surprised.
You're like, ooh, this is fine. Finer than I thought. Or
like,
this is a gusher.
Or like, ooh, this is really fine, but it's not super scratchy. I've had that happen before. The Pilot E95S, I think, was one of those examples. Not necessarily my style of pen, but when I did the Nibnook for it, I was like, wow, these nibs are really kind of bouncy and have some line variation to them. I might have to take one of these. So here we can put this more towards you.
Okay, so it's turning off your notifications. There we go.
There.
All right.
All right.
Ooh, scroll down too far.
Whoa.
Yes, Brian got a haircut.
I got them all cut, actually.
Dad joke. Every time.
It was time.
It was getting mullet-like, and that is just no.
Rachel was like, this is not the man I married. She's like, I did not sign up for this.
I didn't see that,
but she didn't, but she said it with her face.
He was due.
She was like,
it had been like
so were you getting a haircut today?
5 months?
It had been 5 months.
Yeah.
Longest in 20 years probably since I've had a haircut. Okay, let's see here. We're just gonna bob in and out tonight. I do have some stuff to show and some stuff to talk about.
So if you saw our email earlier this week about the Sailor Gentle inks being discontinued, I also threw in a little bit of news in that email that we are going to be carrying the Sailor Ink Studio line of 100 colors. It's a lot of work.
It's like an all or nothing kind of deal.
It's going to take us a while to, we have to swab them, scan them, color adjust them, photograph every bottle, stitch them together. Yes, we will have samples of all 100 colors. I have to create all the product listings. We have to put them in image.
We got to swab, color adjust, take pictures.
Yeah.
It's
a lot.
It's sinking in now, so I'm saying it's sinking in. It's so much work. I'm
going to train Drew to do the swabs, so I don't have to do them all myself.
Absolutely.
So, Sailor Ink Studio, I'd say probably August-ish or so. That we'll have that. And then, someone's asking about Penlux. Did you bring those over?
I don't have them. We had to send the samples back.
Oh, yeah.
I have none.
Penlux will be coming in the next week or so. Our photographer is actually working on this today. So we will have Penlux in the next week or two.
Yeah.
There's a lot of new stuff coming soon. In fact, tomorrow, because I was thinking, did this send yet? No, I drafted it. I have an email of 12, 15 new things that are coming soon. And that isn't even everything. We don't even have everything on the site. I couldn't even fit everything in the email. There is so much coming soon. Basically what happened is everyone shut down for COVID.
Right.
And then they're back up and running. And now we're finally seeing it's all hitting all at once. This is going to be the busiest July we've ever had.
Oh, for sure. For sure. It's going to be the busiest July. July is normally our slowest month of the year.
We normally do a lot of sales to try to keep our team
and there's
busy.
Nothing new coming in. So we
will not be having an ink sample palooza this month. I won't say we won't ever have one again, but it won't be in July because we're just caught up. So shipping update, because we didn't do this last week. We're caught up.
We are back to shipping within our normal 1 to 2 day
business day turnaround time, which is super exciting. I can't solve for shipping delays by the carrier, but
that's still gonna happen.
We are able to turn around orders. So if you've been holding off your order, you don't have to anymore. As long as we have what you want in stock. So that is super exciting. Huge shout out to our fulfillment team for working super hard. Mask on all day. We have a lot of rules in place to keep everyone safe, and it's not the most fun. It's not
Still
normal.
pretty fun, but it's not its normal.
It's not
level of fun.
normal. Even like, lunch breaks and things are just
Yeah,
not
it's
the same.
Not normally as social either, because we only have about 10 to 12 people in the office at any one time.
So we're still mostly remote, but we are very, very, very appreciative of our fulfillment team for working so hard.
Absolutely.
And continuing to work hard.
Got a broad nib question for you, Rachel.
Yeah.
So Ella's Bookish Life. Besides a TWSBI Eco, what broad nib would you recommend for a first-time broad nib user? So like, what's going to get the best broad impression?
That would be my go-to. The most affordable broad I can think of is the Diplomat Magnum.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it is. It's the most affordable for sure. The Eco is just it's so good.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, you can do a Lamy, but those aren't my favorite. Partly because of my grip, I just generally don't do well with Lamy.
You got a 4-fingered grip, so you're not going to recommend a Lamy as the first.
Yeah.
Though it's an extremely popular.
Eco? Ooh, I'm trying to think of like lower price things. I have a lot of things.
Kaweco broads. How do you feel about those?
I haven't tried them. I don't.
Really?
They're kind of small for me. The Kaweco Sport.
Okay.
Not as much of a fan. And you can't use like a normal converter. There's like a mini converter.
True. Yeah, for a first time, maybe not.
Kaweco's too much hassle for me.
But if you're using a cartridge with it, it's not so bad.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who love them. They're not my favorite.
Fair enough.
I'll have to give it some more thought. Everything I can think of is like over $50.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
there aren't a lot of broads.
TWSBI's such a go-to. Yeah, like there's no Metropolitan broad.
No.
Like, that would be one that I would typically go to, but it's not an option.
I'm gonna think on this. It'll come to me.
Just get more.
All of my broads are
just get more Ecos.
Expensive.
I
mean, 580 is good too.
What about a custom 845?
What about it?
The Pilot Custom 845. When's it coming? Do we have
probably Q4.
Yes.
Possibly next year, but probably Q4.
Not for a little while.
So that would be, it might be September, but probably October later.
Yeah. Cool. Let's see here. Oh boy, we're getting behind the questions already.
Yes. Someone's talking about a more inclusive team as we move forward with hiring. So talking about Black Lives Matter and trying to be more diverse. Will we have openings? Yes. We are planning on hiring later this year, probably in the near future. I know we're looking at our marketing social media. Don't know exactly what that role is going to look like yet. We've been thinking about some finance positions, and I don't know what openings we're going to have.
The timing's not great because we are in the middle of COVID and not exactly in a hiring frenzy right now.
As we get towards the holiday season, that's where we look at our volume and we say, okay, do we need permanent or temp, or what do we need, or if somebody leaves or that sort of thing. So right now we don't have any open positions, but we do have line of sight to several in the next 6 months, and absolutely trying to be as inclusive and diverse as possible is a goal of ours.
For sure.
The Benu Scepter should be restocked soon. Benu's been pretty delayed coming out of Russia due to COVID. Just getting out of customs has been a problem, but we should be restocking pretty soon. Can we say what the Lamy Studio Special Edition is this year, or is it not public? Yes, we can say. It is on our website. It's actually public. At the top of that coming soon email tomorrow. It is Glacier, which is an ice blue, and it's actually coming sooner than expected. Normally the studio comes out like September. It'll be here in like a week or two.
Yeah,
so,
it was total surprise to us.
Total surprise.
We had no heads up. Lamy actually published it on their YouTube channel, which does not have a large following.
And the U.S. distributor is like, wait, what?
Yeah, like one of our team members found the video and told us about it. And we were like, Charlie, what now?
Hey,
so we're like, we reached out to our distributor and we were like, so is this real? Like, is the Glacier like really happening? And they were like, yep, I guess so. And guess what? It's coming in 2 weeks.
Joseph wants to say hi.
Oh, hello.
Hi. Anything else? Just hi.
No. That's it?
Okay.
Sweet.
I said this sentence.
Great.
I said this sentence. That is a fact.
Accept this sentence.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, okay.
All right. So Frederick from Sweden got the Monteverde Regatta Sport Rosewood yesterday and loving it. Thank you, Goulet team. You're welcome, Frederick. Thank you for supporting our team. And that is a sweet pen, I got to admit.
Is there a release date for the Shikiori cartridges? I believe it is August. I don't know when exactly, but we'll just go with August.
But it's coming.
I'm in the process of changing all of our coming soon on our website to like coming in July, coming in August. Now that things are stabilizing a bit, I just haven't done that yet, but it's on my to-do. Keep like snoozing that reminder.
Yep. Brandon asks, why does Aston make their pen cases with different width internal spine covers? I'm not 100% sure what you're asking there because of the terminology. I think it means like, why is
Like,
it like
are
a
they
different thickness?
Or are they inconsistent? Or
I think there's been some inconsistencies over time. I don't have like an exact answer for you here, but I have noticed that sometimes like some of the cases over the years have been thinner than others. Some have been thicker. So if you have like a lot of really thick pens, it's harder. It's not that you can't close them. It just feels tighter, right? So not quite as much room in there. This is something that we've been explaining to Aston over time. Part of the reason is they're not a pen case maker. They make bags and coats and things like that.
it's kind of like the scraps they use to make pen stuff.
Yeah.
There's no like eloquent way to say it. It's the scraps.
It is literally, it's the scraps. So it's not their primary focus, even though that's the only thing that people in the pen world know them for. I mean, it literally is like the leftover pieces and they're just trying to make something of it. And so it can be difficult, I think, because they're working with essentially scraps to be entirely consistent with the production of it. So I think that is a factor.
Hi, Brian and Rachel. I noticed that quite a few Noodlers and Pelican inks are selling out on the website. I was wondering if Noodlers and Pelican are discontinuing the inks that have sold out. No, nothing that has sold out on our site is discontinued. It just means we're out of stock and we're waiting to receive more.
Yeah, that could be any number of reasons.
What is? Oh, okay.
You look at
I
that.
need to show the rules, and then we will show Ellie. So she just wrote these rules from Her Majesty.
Wow.
1, only visit when asked.
Wow.
Number 2, give her test drives on new scooters. We just got a new scooter.
Yes.
She's really good at scooter. Number 3, only give her food she likes. Number 4, let her sit, sleep, and snuggle with whoever she wants. Number 5, let her wear whatever she wants to wear. Number 6, let her be in broadcasts and videos. Number 7, let her play anything she wants.
Wow.
All right, Her Majesty, do you want to be in the video?
Wait, are you the Her Majesty?
I think it's rules from Her Majesty, and she gave it to us.
Oh, okay.
She's dressed up.
Okay.
And now she's being shy. I'm sure she'll make an appearance
Your
soon.
Majesty, when you are
ready
and willing
broadcast.
to be in the broadcast, you can.
So yeah, Noodlers and Pelican, nothing is discontinued. We're just waiting to restock. Again, COVID has given me bunny ears. Are you gonna come say hi? You look so pretty. No, no one can see you from there. You have to step over here. You do look warm.
I'm not here wearing that. I'm actively sweating
All right,
now as we're broadcasting.
We're missing some questions here.
Okay.
All right. People ordering. Oh yeah, Twisby Go. Yeah, that's another broad.
Sure.
Same
nib as the
Sorry, it just skipped. And I don't know where we left off. Oh my gosh, we missed a lot of questions. Okay. Particular time of year when fountain pen companies release their new styles. Yeah.
Kind of all over the place.
Yeah, it's again, we've had way more in July than normal, but usually there's like a huge spring push and then a fall push, and everyone's trying to get stuff for the holidays. This is just highly unusual this year because of COVID. It's just kind of like it's all happening. Normally July is very slow. So would you recommend the Arrow over the Magnum? I'm not a Lamy fan. I love the Arrow. I don't like, again,
very, very different.
Again, the Magnum grip, not my favorite, but I love the Arrow grip. What are you doing?
I'm a big fan of the Arrow myself.
Will the Twisby 580 Rose Gold be coming back in stock? Yes. I think probably closer to August. Do we have an estimate on getting in new notebooks like Clairefontaine? We are getting some brand new Clairefontaine notebooks we special ordered from France. They have arrived in the US. They're making their way through the distributor to be sent to us. So we should have those pretty soon. We do have to photograph them, but in the next few weeks for sure. Are the Curitas all good now? Have they fixed the issue with the feed? I haven't heard that they have fixed anything at the manufacturer level, but anyone who does have an issue, we're replacing.
Make it right.
Yeah, I mentioned about hiring. We will later. We aren't currently. Can we offer the Pocket Rhodia 2021 calendar planner? So we actually stopped carrying the Pocket version of the Rhodia planner because it uses different paper than the like A5 version. So the A5 version uses like 90 gram paper. It's like the Rhodia, the nice premium Rhodia you're used to. The smaller one uses 64 gram, and it like ghosts and bleeds through, and it's just not the same. And we haven't sold it as well, and the feedback has been very mixed on it. So we decided just to carry the A5 with a better paper. Can we speak on the news that Tomoe is different now? So this is an interesting thing. We did hear back from our notebook manufacturer about this.
I didn't hear about this yet.
I saw it on Slack. We confirmed. So yes, sometime last year they did change some of the Tomoe paper, but the sizing is still the same, and it should perform the same as what we're told for the 52 gram. Now, our Goulet notebooks are still the old version, and they probably will be for quite some time because of the stock level.
Mm-hmm.
We will get a sample of the new one, probably August or so. We'll test it for ourselves.
They didn't tell us they were changing anything. Apparently, this happened like late last year sometime. But again, they manufacture stuff in massive quantities. You know, in stationery is not their primary thing. That's
Ellie,
not.
if you want to be on the
that's not
camera,
what
you
they
have to
do.
come over here.
Yeah, just
Why?
stop messing with your mom, dear. She's trying to focus. If you want to come in the video, just come in the video.
Her Majesty.
Your Majesty, yes. So yeah, they changed it. You know, Tomoe River. It's the stationery is not their primary business. So for a variety of reasons unknown to us, they made some changes, but.
This is
means.
not well, yeah, and this is not their focus. They like
Right.
paper for fountain. It just happens to be good for fountain pens, but it's not their thing. So our 52 gram, all of our Goulet notebooks are still the old version. The 68 gram actually not changing because that's like custom made for our notebooks.
Mm-hmm.
There she is. There's a pretty girl. Her Majesty. Are you warm?
No.
No.
You know, Ellie, if you were Her Majesty, you would have jewelry, I think.
And a crown.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a crown.
You don't have a crown?
There's a broken crown that I am trying to fix.
Yeah.
It broke and it's very fragile and it is not fixing well.
This was going to be her first communion dress, and then COVID. So
it's going to be / will be as soon as it happens.
Depends when it happens. She could outgrow it. Who knows? But,
Gosh, yeah, true.
so she's just wearing it around the house for fun. She looks very pretty in it. Her Majesty.
Looks regal.
So yeah, all of our Tomoe River notebooks are the old version. We are going to test the new to see if it's different. I don't expect it to be that different, frankly. But we will let you know.
JJ Pack says, any info on the Galen Tan medic bag and writer's box?
We aren't stocking the writer's boxes anymore. There were just too many warping issues, and we just couldn't resolve that. Yeah. So we do carry the medic bags, and we do have a restock coming in the next month or so. Again, COVID, all the things.
They were delayed pretty hard.
Yeah.
Over there in Turkey.
Shut down pretty good.
Yeah. Looking for good ink for copy paper. Writing now with the Pilot Metro fine with 54th mass. Looking to go to a TWSBI 580, either in medium or fine. Well, the finer the nib you have, the better it's going to perform on cheap copy paper.
Needler's X Feather is great for cheap paper.
X Feather's pretty good, yeah. 54th mass, that can feather a little bit. So that's going to be a good permanent ink, but it's not going to necessarily be the best for feathering on cheap paper. Some of the conventional inks, like, you know, something actually usually without permanent qualities is going to do a little bit better. But that said, some of the ones that do really well, Platinum Carbon Black, that's a pigmented ink that sits more on top of the paper. Some of the Sailor pigmented inks do well too, but they're a little more maintenance, so maybe that's not your flavor. Pilot Roshizuku overall tends to do pretty well. A lot of Pelikan inks tend to do pretty well too. So those would be some of the ones I'd maybe stick to.
I'm going to try to plow through. Oh, we are so behind on questions. And we have some stuff to show you too. But I definitely don't want to ignore your questions. So we're just going to plow through.
Sure.
Short answers.
Let's do it.
Do you send out warnings if popular inks are going to be discontinued?
If we know about it.
If we know about it and if it's popular enough. If it's not popular and like we're discontinuing it, we generally just kind of do that quietly because no one was buying it anyway. We might have sold like 2 bottles a year and no one's really going to miss it. But if it's popular, like the Gentle inks and we've noticed, we'll let you know.
Yeah, but it's super rare for us to get a heads up when we still have stock. Oftentimes what happens is we go to reorder like normal and then we're told it's on back order and then we're eventually like, what's going on? They're like, oh yeah, it was discontinued. And it's like, but at that time we're out of stock. So it's usually too late. So kind of stinks, but that's usually what happens.
Did you bring any Piniter full metal jacket home?
I didn't bring any full metal.
Bummer. He stepped into the office briefly today.
But we have a full video with Dante that's going to be coming out.
It's being edited
in a couple of days. It's going to be way better than what we would show.
It's very Dante. You'll enjoy it.
Oh yes.
Nothing gets run over with a car, but
no. But we do show the footage of when we ran over it with a car previously.
There you go.
Yeah, we ham it up a little bit in this video.
Yes, funny. We will be restocking the TWSBI 580 ALR Prussian Blue probably in the next month or so. You signed up for the email. Last time it sold out, never got one. Yeah, we're waiting for more to come in.
Yeah, you'll get it eventually.
Yeah. Deviation from
popular.
pen questions. Your favorite songs in Hamilton?
All of them.
It was so good.
We
And
watched
he's
it.
been listening to the soundtrack for months.
I've
and
probably
then-
listened to it 100 times easily. Yeah, actually, I've had their song stuck in my head constantly. I mean, Wait For It's pretty good. My Shot's amazing. Oh, gosh, they're all really, really good. But I think One Last Time is probably my favorite. When he's with George Washington and just the whole symbology of George Washington, like stepping down from power, and that was like such a historic event in general. And that like really was a deviation from like, kingship, if you will, which is where they were all coming from. And it was like, no, I'm going to give up power and let it go to the next person, even if it's not, the right person. It's going to keep going.
John Adams.
That whole thing of like, we're going to, I forget the exact line, even though I've heard it so many times, but he's like, we'll show them how it's done, or show them how it's, if I forget the line.
It
Whatever.
was really good.
It's really good.
Highly recommend
I
it.
like it.
Disney Plus, if you haven't seen it yet. Do you know when the Sailor Pro Gear Slim Midnight Sky will be released? That is coming in August. The end of August is the Midnight Sky new Sailor Pro Gear line. So it's the Slim, the standard size, and the King pens.
Nice dark navy blue.
If you had a choice, Wicked Witch 1911L or 3776 Cheyenne, which we can show. We have things to show.
Yes, I do have a Cheyenne here.
That's a good question.
Cheyenne. I think it's Cheyenne. Cheyenne.
For me, it'd be the Wicked Witch because I like that gunmetal trim and the black. But
that is a
the
tough call between the two.
is really pretty. So we're going to show
Which
you
one
that.
both?
Yes, we should be restocking the Rhodia number 18 top-bound wire-bound notebook. We're just out of stock, and we're just waiting for more to come in. How limited is the Harry Potter monograppa? It is not. They're an open edition, which means it's regular, so they'll be around for quite some time.
Is there going to be a limited?
There might be.
Like a
I have-
high-end
I haven't
limited, but I haven't
heard.
seen yet.
I haven't heard, but I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm speculating that there might be, but I don't know.
When
that
do you
for a
expect
fact.
Diamond Inkvent to restock? Probably in a few weeks. I think it was supposed to be mid-July that the next shipment was coming in, but again, customs, all the things. So hopefully the end of this month. Question: when I clean my TWSBI Eco, it never seems to fully dry. Should I be concerned, or is this typical?
Which pen?
TWSBI Eco, trouble getting it to dry fully.
Oh yeah, because
typical.
it's a piston pen. Any piston
It's
pen.
just hard to get all the water out.
Yeah, don't worry about it. There's actually so little water in there because of the thickness of the walls of that, and it's almost kind of an optical illusion. It's like a fraction of a drop of water that ends up actually staying in that pen. You just fill it with ink. It's going to dilute to a degree. It's going to be like a fraction of a fraction. You don't really have to sweat it. So unless you're going to store it and you really want it to be completely dry, you can. But then you can just disassemble it since it's TWSBI and that's easy to do. Use a Q-tip, get it in there, swap it out. It's dry, and then move on.
Yeah, to all the questions about stock, my general answer is going to be in the next few weeks. In general, if it's out of stock on our site and it's still listed on our site, it means we're going to restock. If we're not going to restock, I take it down.
Crystal says it's Shiyun.
Shiyun.
That's what I thought. I thought it was Shiyun. Okay.
Nobody ever tells us verbally. We just have to guess.
We don't natively speak Japanese. So we have to guess.
Any tips on how to get your hands on a Monoverity Regatta Sport Northern Lights? eBay, Fountain Pen Network. It's got to be secondhand. So.
Oh, please. We can't do that, Ellie. It's too noisy for the broadcast.
Why not?
Because Ellie, it's
Because
going to
we have two
interfere.
microphones and it'll sound bad.
She's
you
got
look
this like
really
microphone thing. You do
She's
look
the
nice.
princess and she has a whole bunch of rules, and also she
I know.
hit my arm.
On accident or purpose?
Accident.
Did you apologize?
It looked like it was on purpose. I was trying to give you a high five, and you just.
I was trying to shoo a bug.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
All right,
I
we're
saw
not
a
gonna.
tiny
Hey,
bug.
guys, we're live. We're not gonna do this right now. So
Yeah.
we're gonna be nice. And if you want to show yourself, you can show yourself, and otherwise, you can go upstairs.
Yeah. People do not come here so they can watch children argue.
Here is the Wicked Witch of the West.
Yeah.
Sailor.
Which is dark,
Ooh.
not that translucent.
It
Slightly
is somewhat
translucent.
translucent.
Ooh,
Very
slightly
little.
translucent.
Not like
Nope,
the
that's
Shiyun.
a different thing. We're gonna show that later.
Oh, you can show this later?
Yeah. These are all for later. One thing at a time.
Can I help?
All right, so here is the Shiyun.
Okay, you come over here.
So this is much more translucent. And as you can see, it's got some bling to it. So it's got these kind of like diamond-like cutouts, and it's very textured. I mean, you feel this.
It's tiny.
It's tiny.
Tiny? It's not
What do you
tiny.
mean?
It's
It's
a pretty
really
good size pen.
tiny.
The grip is not.
Here, compared to a
The grip is
1911.
the grip is not faceted like this. So this is a 1911L, and the 3776 are pretty similar in size. Not super different in terms of overall design, to be honest
The
with you.
individual numbering is right there.
Yeah, so this is a limited edition one. This one is more expensive though. But,
470. Yeah.
which is expensive. Like this is the highest price limited edition 3776 that
This is
they've done.
312. I want to say. Yeah. You have the 21 karat nib on here. You have a 14 on there.
Yeah.
And here's
the-
another pen.
That is a different pen. That's a Lego pen.
It's a Lego pen.
There's
That's
another
right.
one.
That's right. But this one has got that. Well, how do you feel? Because I know you.
It will not be restocked. So if we have sold out of any nib sizes, it's a one and done.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Hmm
There you
I
go.
need to suppress the wait list on our side. I was
So
on the road today.
how do you feel about the texture? Because I know that you are more selective about your texture.
I don't mind it because the grip is smooth.
Grip is
If
smooth,
the grip
yeah.
were textured, I'd have a problem, but I'm not bothered.
It's
as
not
much.
sharp. Like it's not
No.
sharp. It looks crisp. It looks sharp in the facets, but it's not. It doesn't feel sharp.
Yeah. So this is a one and done. So once we do sell out, that's it. So yeah, there were like allocations. And
So buy
pretty crazy
them
looking.
now.
so buy them. You heard it from Ellie. Buy them now.
Yes, my goodness. Okay.
Yeah, we have some other stuff to show you guys. So we are going to be carrying another new brand besides Penlux,
Ooh, those are pretty.
which also all these things are going to be in the email tomorrow. I keep thinking it already sent, and I'm realizing no, it didn't.
No, you just drafted it. We've been
I
waiting
know,
to send it.
well, because I've been staring at it so much. So we're going to add Tatcha to our line. And part of why Tatcha is happening now and not in the past is they use Sailor nibs. And now that we're with Sailor, we have access to these. So there are two models that we're starting with. We have the Spectrum. Here's a ocean blue and a forest green. And this is the Spotlight in pure clear.
By
And
Tasha, do you mean taco?
no, not taco. Tatcha, Taccia, in airline blue, and there are a couple other
Do you
colors
mean
as well.
taco?
They
taco?
come with Sailor. They're made by Sailor. They're not the same as Sailor. They're not like interchangeable, but they come with either steel or 14 karat gold nibs, and they're both two-tone. So the steel nib looks like that, and they look different, so you can tell the difference between the two. Actually, I'll hold them up side by side. And the 14 karat looks like that. So you have your steel. That
Stop
one.
plugging.
Okay, and your 14 karat. So again, made by Sailor, so they use Sailor converter cartridges as well. What are you doing?
It's not on.
I know, but it's just weird. It's got a screw cap, but it's like a push screw.
So you're saying microphones are weird?
All right, Ellie,
No, I'm
we're
just
trying to
getting
talk
very
about the
distracted
pens here,
right
Ellie.
now.
I'm trying to help.
No,
This
you're
is
not.
called a pen.
It is a
It
pen.
right.
It does when you put ink in it. If you
It,
don't put ink in it, it will not write.
I know how it'll write. It'll write a hole in the paper.
Yes, that is not how to properly do it, but it is possible. So Tasha is coming later this month as well. So
There you
2
go.
models, a bunch of colors, affordable price point. So you're talking
Wait, tacos are coming this month?
$159 MSRP for the steel and $269 for the gold nib. So 20 off of that, 127 and 211.07. I don't remember. I'm very distracted right now. Can't do the math.
Ellie, it's getting late here. Can you start getting ready for bed?
Do we still have black Goulet nibs? Yes, we do.
Yep.
Can you use a Goulet nib on those? No, they are proprietary.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the pricing is on our website. I just can't remember and do the math in my head at this moment. But yeah, so there is a music nib. So that's the nice thing about Sailor making the nibs. There's extra fine, medium, broad, and music in the steel. And then when you get into the gold,
Which is like a
there's-
stub nib, basically.
and when you get into the gold, there's a medium fine. So basically similar offerings, except there is no zoom. Zoom is just in Sailor.
Oh, Jacob is an interesting question.
Plans to carry the Diamond Twilight 80 ml bottles again? No, if it's not on our site, we're not planning to do that.
Jacob asks, what's the most interesting combination of 2 specialty nib types or grinds that you've ever seen on a single pen? Like a flexible stub, coarse oblique, excuse me, flexible architect, etc. I got to be honest, when you get into these like multi-special nib grinds,
It's hard to even know what's
they are
going
not
on.
universally appealing. They are uber specific. So I haven't found any that have like blown my mind personally. The ones that I think have been, one I think is actually pretty interesting is the one that Nathan did for the music flex. So like he's done for the Neponset and like the triple tail and stuff like that are really cool.
Someone is
So like the
asking
broader flex nibs.
about the difference between the Spectrum and the Spotlight. So this is Tatcha. This is the Spectrum. This is the Spotlight. So the Spotlight is slightly larger in size. The clip is different. It feels a little heavier as well. And you can see, obviously, the center band is a big difference. With the Spotlight, it's just a normal screw cap, push as a post. With the Spectrum, you have that twist kind of push thing going on, like, you know, with the screw cap. Maybe it's just the way I was doing it. I guess it's just a normal screw cap. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But they're very similar. Again, they're basically the same price point. It's just a slightly different design and different colors. The Spectrum is a little less translucent than the Spotlight. The Spotlight is a lot more translucent. Will we get Tatcha inks too? Not out of the gate. Not at this time. Brian
asks, is the music nib a 3-tine on them? They are 2-tine on sailors.
Yeah, Platinum makes a 3-tine. The Sailor is a 2-tine.
Mm-hmm. Noodlers as a 3-tine, but Sailors is a 2-tine, which is really why I call it more of a stub. Okay.
2 young boys in junior school, what fountain pen would be good to give them? I'm not sure if you mean like junior high versus like elementary school. I think it depends on the age. If they're like elementary, I think the Jinhao Shark pens are pretty cool. I just got a text in from Scott. There was a difference in the resin used. This is one of them. The Spotlight is a hand-turned acrylic resin, where this is injection molded. Another difference between the two. Sorry, I'm like very distracted.
We'll get more details, yeah.
Shark if they're younger boys, sure. If they're like junior high, they might, the shark pen might be a little juvenile for them, or maybe they like it because junior high boys can be really immature too. I don't know.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, when's the last time you heard that? No, we're not going to talk about you in middle school.
You don't want to see what I looked like in middle school.
The Pilot Kakano is good. It's got the smiley face on it.
That one's pretty cool.
I mean, I don't have it with me. It has it on the pen, on the nib.
Do I?
But if you get in junior high, if you could do a Twisby Go or a Magnum or an Eco. Like if they're responsible enough, you could get into that $15, $20 price range. There's Quaco Sport. There's a lot of options actually at that price point.
Thought I had one.
The Platinum Prefonte or the Preppy. Those are all good options as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All the questions are just like a blur to me right now. Did you want to show did you bring other stuff to show?
I had one other thing I wanted to show. I'm going to talk about it in a video that we're still in the works on, but I wanted to feature, and then I want to show the viewer wood as well.
Okay.
I wanted to show this little trick that if you've never seen it before, you can use these little paper reinforcers or just any type of like label that's circular, and you can put it on the top of your ink sample so that when you are, have like an ink sample tray or something like that where they're all lined up, or maybe keep them in a box in a drawer or whatever, rather than trying to read the name, you can just swab up the paper ring on top of the lid, whatever, cap, and you can more at a glance see what color it is. So it's kind of a neat little trick, right? Isn't that a cool idea? I didn't come up with it. I got to be honest. I saw it somewhere years ago, and
you can use like solid stickers too if you don't have
Yeah, whatever you got. But if you have these paper reinforcers around, you might have them around your home or office. And these days, who's using 3-ring binders very much anymore? But you may still have some of these around, so perfect use for them. Really kind of cool. So you can get different colors, and so you can see more at a glance what color you're dealing with. Isn't that cool?
Are any other manufacturers doing left-handed nib grinds now that Nemesign is gone? Lamy
does
still have their left-handed nib, but they're the only ones I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Best type of paper to show sheening ink. You have some California teal on your Leuchtturm.
Mm.
It's not showing up. Tomoe
Tomoe.
River. Best paper for sheen, hands down. Tomoe River.
Hands down.
Which you can get it in a Goulet notebook or by itself, or Endless Works is another notebook we carry. They have Tomoe River paper in it as well.
Yeah, Gale and Leather too, right?
Yeah, the everyday books. That's right. That's right.
Yep.
I keep
So
forgetting
you
we
get
added
a number
that.
of them. Yeah.
Yeah, a Jinhao 51A. Any Jinhao would be great for a junior high student.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
We were on the road today and unpacking and getting settled back at home, so my brain's a little mush. Will mixing Blue Ghost into a conventional ink make it permanent? No, just the portion that is Blue
The Blue Ghost part of it will be permanent.
But
the part you can't
it's not,
see.
Yeah, and same with like the glow in the dark part. But like, you can mix like a permanent ink with a non-permanent ink, but basically it's only going to retain the part that was permanent. It's not going to like make the whole thing
like
as equally permanent.
For example, if you took Noodler's Black, which is black and permanent, and mix it with
Noodler's Red, because that's
something else. Noodler's Red, sure, and you make a red black. Okay.
Which they have.
Yeah. So the black part is going to be permanent. The red part would wash away.
Yeah.
So it will be permanent. So if you want a red black and you want to have a level of permanence, it's just not the whole color of the ink is going to remain permanent. Does that make sense? That's why some of the colors, like for example, Black Swan and Australian Roses, the like burgundy part of that color is not permanent, but the black part is.
Exactly.
So there you go.
Can we show off some custom pens from independent pen makers in both of our collections if we have them with you? If not, what are your favorite customs? My favorite is my Cherry Blossom pen by Yoshi. It is gorgeous. It is on my desk in my office at work, so I don't have it to show. I've had Edison do several customs for me, especially as we prototype different materials.
Trying to think what I have.
There are more Majesty's commands. Let me sleep.
Boy.
Try not to interrupt FaceTime. No yucky food for me. Let me play stuff. Obey these rules. Let me be royal. I love that.
Wow.
Erase this if needed. Visit only if I say so. Read note at the bottom. Exceptions may apply.
Wow. That is a list of rules right there.
Oh, His Majesty's commands. This is Joseph's list. I missed that part of the top.
Oh, okay.
That's why the Goomba drawing looks so good.
Oh, here's a Goomba right here.
Yeah.
There you
For
go.
Mario.
All right.
All right. These are a lot of
Cool.
rules. We'll have to study them.
If you need to erase this, you can.
Okay. Thank
Good
you.
to know. We'll take a picture of it before we erase it.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
you like Pilot fine medium nibs in a VP, should I stick with a fine for Viscani Homo sapiens Bronze Age? Yeah, I mean, Pilot fine medium is going to be on the finer side. When you go to Viscani, those nibs run a bit wetter. It's just the whole Japanese versus German nib thing. So I would, especially if you like extra finer Japanese nibs, go down, go a smaller size on Viscani.
All right. What's a Tech Cowboy says? What's a good pen for giving to some professors after graduation? About $100 or less, maybe $150. So I'm assuming you're graduating and you want to give it to your professors. That is very generous.
A Lamy Studio is really nice and elegant.
That's not a bad one.
Like a Monteverde Invincia Deluxe. Those are really nice too.
Mm-hmm. Those can work. Honestly, going with like a Conklin Durograph could be really good. That's got kind of a classic look that I think a lot of professors probably like. It looks sort of academic, kind of vintagey. Those could really work.
I mean, E95S is pretty cool if you want to spring
E95S
for
looks
that
really
price
cool.
point. But yeah, I think the Lamy Studio is a really nice one.
That's
too.
a good one. Or just like
It's just
straight up like
elegant.
Twisby Diamond 580 is not a bad
It
way to
depends
go.
what their style is, for sure.
Yeah.
If they're more of a classic
If
or
they're wearing
modern,
like a tweed jacket with elbow patches, maybe go more of the vintage looking route because they might appreciate that.
like
But
an Edison
if they're a little more cutting edge, maybe go with a Twisby.
Best part of vacation, we just spent it with family, like literally the kids in a kiddie pool on the deck, and we stayed in the house the whole time. So it was nice to get a change of scenery and just really be with my family. My niece and nephew who just turned 3 and 5, so we had a little birthday party for them, and it's just quality time we haven't had since like Christmas. So it was nice.
I got to ride bike with my brother-in-law for the first time. I think it's the third time I've ever ridden a bike with someone else, even though I've been cycling regularly.
And he didn't leave you behind.
He didn't leave me behind because he's a runner. See, I'm a cyclist.
Well, I was thinking the one time you were in a
did
group
okay.
and you crashed and they like left you, and it was just so sad.
Well, that was like during a race, so that was a little bit different.
I want to show you something else that's coming soon. that you may or may not have seen up on our site. So if you remember, about 2 years ago, we had a collection, the Conklin Indura. We had 3 woods. We had the ebony, mahogany, and sandalwood, sorry, in this order. We have a new one, the 4th one, not offered at the same time, coming, called Vera Wood. And it's a medium brown. It almost leans a little green. It has gunmetal trim. And now with the Conklin black Yovo nib, as well as the flex nib, which is very exciting. So this is a Goulet exclusive, limited run of 300, I believe. Coming,
solid wood pens.
Our shipment was supposed to arrive today, but I think it's coming tomorrow. So look for that. It is a good price point, $76. So if you like solid wood, and it holds up really well. You can post them. The only thing I'll warn is if you post it a lot,
it can
kind of, it's real wood.
It's got a finish on it, but it's a very natural kind of finish. So,
yeah, it's like a satin finish. It's really pretty.
So it's more like an oil finish where, you still very much feel the grain. It's not like this polyurethane, like really thick, glossy kind of stuff.
Very minimal engraving. It just says Indura on the back. So, keeping it very classy.
It's
same price in the flex nib.
It's wood and it's organic material. So, if you get it wet and like soak it in something, like it's not going to do great. But the thing I will say is, given the fact that it's a wood pen and it's organic, it holds up surprisingly well. Like I was expecting when we carried the ship, like the last ones, I was like, because I used to turn wood pens, I was like, oh my gosh, these are going to split and crack all over the place. There were a couple of splits and cracks that did happen. I'm not going to lie, we replaced them, but not nearly as many as I would have thought, given the fact that it's wood and you just can't change the nature of what wood is. And in a pen, it's hard to do. That's why you don't see a lot of wood pens out there.
This pen just feels really nice. It does have a metal grip, but the pen feels.
You got to have a metal grip. You can't have a wood grip because then you get ink. It would stain immediately. Yeah. So you got to go with something else.
So that is coming soon. We do have some more wood pens coming too as well. The Conklin All American will be coming out in ebony as well as walnut. Probably the end of this month. There's so much new stuff coming. Yeah. So much.
Shrish asks, is it possible for you to carry Ackerman? Just curious.
Not at this time. They don't wholesale.
They're a retailer like us, so they're not manufacturing the ink and distributing it globally. They're that would be like if we carried, for example, the Vera wood, you get it through us. That'd be like if you asking another retailer if you can get this pen. It's like they would have to buy it from us and then sell it to you. So it's not widely distributed. That's why we don't have it.
How come there aren't Sailor stainless nibs in the States? They just haven't been brought in, but stay tuned. You never know.
They don't make a lot of stainless. Like their focus is more on gold.
Yeah.
But they
are available in Japan and other markets. But we'll see. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
I don't think it's like a mainstay focus of what they do though.
There are a lot of diamond inks out of stock on the website. Is there
Majesty added 4 more rules?
Oh my! Is there an ETA for them coming back? We just restocked diamine like this week, so if it's not part of this, it should be here soon. Oh my goodness! Let her play with anything she wants. Let her be royal. Only FaceTime for 1 hour or less, unless important. Obey these rules. Don't hurt or disagree with me.
Wow.
These are good rules. Can we order Pelican nibs for the M205s? I don't know about that. I don't know if they're available to us.
Sorry, I was distracted.
Replacement nibs for the M205. I'm not sure that we can do that. Do we have a mahogany? Yeah, we have mahogany.
Not currently available though.
No, not currently available.
None of these other ones are available.
Yeah, this is the Vera wood. This is the mahogany.
We haven't had them for 9 months.
More than that.
Longer than that?
Oh yeah, longer than that.
All right, what else we got?
It's 9:45, so we could. Is there anything else you wanted to show?
That was it for today, I think.
Yeah. So watch that email tomorrow, coming soon, and just check the coming soon page on our site. I don't have the Sailor Ink Studio on there because it's 200 products I haven't created yet. But I've been working furiously on a bunch of other things. There's a new Visconti Opera Master coming soon. I'm going to work on that tomorrow too. So yeah. Any plans in the distant future to offer in-house nib tuning and grinding? Ambitious long-term plans.
Talked about it for sure.
No immediate plans, but we've been trying to work on getting the knowledge and figure out how to do it, but not immediate.
We have most of the knowledge now. It's a matter of training and
practice,
labor,
and then business model. Do we still do special orders? Generally not. If it's very expensive, like a over $1,000, $2,000 thing, we definitely can try to look into it, but we don't really have a good process, especially with us still all being remote, for less expensive things.
Roland, appreciate your comment there. Said, no question, I've just learned a lot from your videos and truly appreciate all you do for the community.
Someone asked,
Thank you,
do
Roland.
you have a 4 a.m. home? Do you have a 4 a.m.?
Do you have a 4 a.m.? I don't have one here.
Okay, so we don't have that at home to show you.
No.
That's the one downside of doing this at home. We just don't have access to all of the things, like the Full Metal Jacket. That would be cool to show.
That would be cool.
But we do have a video, like he said, coming probably
out.
early next week. So look for that.
Maybe later this week. It's in the final stages of editing.
Yeah.
It might be done soon.
Okay.
We'll see.
We'll have an email blast next week.
Yeah.
We have a Prefonte promo kicking off on Friday. So if you're thinking about buying a Prefonte, wait till Friday.
Yeah. Clayton says, could I get an ink recommendation for my graduation present that's coming in the mail? It's a Custom Heritage 92 with a medium nib. Nice. Let's see here. So that's going to you can get whatever you want. I mean, that pen is going to write well. It's going to write really well. It's not a gusher. So, I wouldn't necessarily go the route of like a sheening ink or something like that, especially with a piston filling pen. You're going to want to go with something that's, an ink that you're going to like to kind of stick with for a while. So I would maybe look at what some of your favorite colors are, go with something without any wild and crazy properties. Certainly there's plenty within the like Iroshizuku Sailor kind of diamine line that you can get some really nice saturated colors, maybe something with a little bit of shading, a little bit of sheen to it perhaps. I think you'll have some fun with those. That would be my recommendation.
The Aurora Optima Viola, that is up on our website. It should be coming probably within the week. Maybe Friday, maybe next week. But that's going to be really pretty. Reminds me a lot of the Nebulosa they had before, the purple with the rose gold.
It is nice. Look at you in your robe.
Yeah. So keep checking up our coming soon on our website. We have just a lot. I don't know yet if we'll do an ink sample set with all 100 Ink Studio colors. I think my fulfillment team would be quite upset with me.
That would be really hard to keep in stock. I'm just calling it right now.
That's true.
Like, we're not going to have all 100 colors in stock.
I'm just thinking, I just don't want to create that image. Like stitching together 100 swatches.
I don't think
I just
that
don't
would
want
make
to.
sense.
I just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Well, the samples are going to be $250 a piece. So 100 colors, it's $250. Even if I discount it 5 or 10%, that's still over $200 for all those samples.
I just don't think we have it.
But if someone really wants to buy all 100 and they have to individually add them to cart, I do see a benefit. I just don't know how many people. I don't know.
Sharon said, any more videos of Drew coming up? Potentially. We don't have anything recorded. So
he's back in the office. He's one of the folks who's back in the office.
Potentially, if we go back in the office, we could record some stuff together.
You can socially distance and
that is
do it appropriately.
That is possible. Now that we're back, from being gone for a week, I think we can start talking about them.
Might we be carrying the Aurora Internazionale in Verde? I did not know that was a thing. I will have to find out more about it. We have the blue and we have the black. I guess I would imagine that is green. I have not heard about it. So we'll look into it.
Mm-hmm.
My royal sword.
Soteric Night. The Midnight Sky would have looked amazing with the black vapor deposition on the trim. I agree. That would look pretty tight.
Yeah.
Navy blue with like a black trim. That would look cool.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. We'll go ahead and wrap up here.
The Conklin is going to release flex nibs made by Yovo. It's just been delayed. They were due any day. They've been due for quite some time. COVID again.
Well over a year it's been in the works now.
Yeah. It should be soon. I think we're still a couple weeks out because they have to get shipped and then they have to be put on all the pens and we have to get them. We have to swap everything out. We will shout it from the rooftops when it does happen. So for now, they are not Yovo, but we will let you know when it changes.
So Laurie has a good question here. How do magnetic caps last over time? I really wanted to get a peniter quill nib, but the magnetic cap just didn't seem secure to me. Plus, I'm worried about them rusting, breaking, wearing out over time. It's a great question.
The magnet's not exposed.
No, well, I mean, magnets technically can
rusting.
rust because they have iron in them, so they can technically rust. Usually it's an issue if the magnet gets scratched because they are coated on pretty much all these pens. So unless they're getting scratched somehow, which is not super common, not super easy to do, but I guess technically possible, then you're generally going to be okay. So that's the main thing. I think the bigger issue is like the secureness of the cap. So is the pen going to come, the body going to come separated from the cap or something like that? I think you need to be cognizant of that. So if you tend to carry your pen where it's like you just like are wearing a button down shirt and you like clip it into the shirt like that, I might be a little hesitant to do that myself with something like that. But if you keep it in a pocket or have it in a pen sleeve or a pen case or something, you really don't have to worry about it. It's a pretty secure magnet. And that one, you have to twist it before it really comes off. That's part of the design. We haven't really had any feedback from people that have had broken bodies, lost bodies, or anything like that because of the magnet. And that's the case with things like Visconti. That's the case with that.
Pineider.
I mean, there's Pineider. There's other brands too that have these magnetic caps. Monteverde really hasn't been as much of an issue as you might think. I'm not going to say it's not possible to be an issue, but it depends on how you carry your pen. If you just kind of use like a general common sense, I think you'll be just fine.
Yeah, Jenny had a good idea about the Sailor Ink Studio. Rather than 100 colors in a set, I do know, which ones are the most popular. So we could put together some like bestseller,
like top 20 or something.
Exactly, or 10 or 15
top
or
10.
whatever natural kind of cutoff is.
It could work.
Yeah, exactly. Top 10 most popular sailors, group by colors, or Goulet favorites. Absolutely. I know data from Sailor as to what they have as their most popular color. So I could run with that, or I could just wait and get some sales data, but of our own. But I like that idea because 100 is that's just a lot. Like it takes a long time to sample 100 colors.
Yeah.
For sure. Someone's talking about a glow in the dark ink. So you're looking at Needler's Blue Ghost. As well as the whiteness of the whale has some fluorescent properties.
Those are both do it. Blue Nose Bear has it a little bit too.
A little bit. There is a fluorescent filter on our site, so you can check for those.
Now these are UV reactive inks. It's not the traditional like you shine it.
It's not glow in the dark. Like you need a black light to see it.
It's not. Yeah, it's not like the whatever stuff you have as a kid, like the stars that you stick up on your ceiling, like Rachel still has on her childhood bedroom.
Yeah, because there's so many of them. Like, and they peel off the paint, so my parents just left it, which is hilarious. So when you like forget about it and you have to look up, you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Is there a Queen of Broads, King of Pens ink sampler set for both your favorites? Yours we still have active. I think we took down most of everyone else's because we had trouble keeping them in stock. People kept changing things, and it just honestly didn't sell that great, except for his. His is the only one that sold worthwhile, so we kept his. Top 10 of Sailor inks. I should do that for like. Well, I do have.
Really, does all my favorites are the ones that everybody likes. That's why
I do. Hang on, guys. Hang on.
Give us a second.
We do currently have Sailor ink sample sets of the Manyo, the Shikiori. They're in 2 sets. The Gentle. Like I do actually have those currently. So I think once again the Ink Studio. Yeah, done this. Is there an MSRP on the Shikiori ink cartridge sampler? So the ink cartridges are going to be the 3-pack for $6 per color. If you get the box of all 20 colors, so you get 100. You get 60 cartridges. It's $120. We're discounting it, 20 off. So it'll be $96 is what we're going to sell for.
I did 3 new rules.
What are your other rules? I don't see them.
Yeah, Vincent, I don't know about the bows in the hair anymore. My hair is much shorter.
Where?
It's a little harder to pull off, and it's gelled.
We
So,
have all the monsters out the castle. So like get the monsters out of the castle.
and you're very welcome for doing the
Oh, let me play the
Ink
kazoo.
Studio samples.
Okay.
Okay, I have 3 more rules. They're very important.
All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the broadcast.
Very important.
So,
It can be a night
go ahead.
sometimes. If you break rules, you go in dungeon or timeout. And let me FaceTime for at least an hour.
Okay.
You have to obey
Okay.
both of our
Again,
Alright,
exceptions.
We'll
guys,
talk about all these
It is
rules.
past your bedtime.
You have to obey both
And you
commands.
are not in your
Oh my.
pajamas.
All right.
You have to
You have to obey
Right.
our
You
commands.
guys-
We are the king and queen of the house.
castle.
Prince and princess. of
Yes,
the castle.
and the prince and princess must listen to the king and queen.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, but we made all the rules.
Well, the king and queen can take away screen time and dessert.
That's true.
But we
All right, we're gonna go so that we can, be parents right now because clearly
Okay, I'm gonna
we
go
need to do
too.
Oh,
that.
and there's not enough room to write it, but one of them is if you don't obey
Yes,
these
Ink Studio
rules,
samples
you
will
get in-
happen.
You have to go in the dungeon. Same as Joseph's.
The dungeon is
I
like
can't comment on
31
these
timeouts.
rumors because I have no official information. This is the first time even hearing about it, so I'm not going to comment, but I will look into it. All right, we're going to get going.
All right. Thanks, everybody. It was
Thanks
good to
for
see you.
watching.
Thanks, everyone. I'll see you later. Right on.
Bye.